What's up guys? Welcome again to iTutorTherapy, back with another video. Today, things are gonna get a little bit analytical, so take out your calculators and let's get going. Let's begin. Alright, let's get the comparison on. Okay, so we're going to compare OUPs and demos, and we're going to talk about different categories. The first category is going to be the risk of receiving a low rating. The second category is going to be the payment, and this is a good one. The third one is the mental stress that you experience when you're teaching each type of session. And number 4 is the physical stress, or like being tired and physical exhaustion. Number 5 is the roof of how much money you're able to make. It doesn't matter if you're making this money now or no, we're talking just like the money that you could possibly make at some point. And finally, the absences and your ability to appeal these absences or remove them. So let's begin with the first category. For each category, we're gonna give a point from 0 being the worst to 10 being the best. Let us do the rating for once instead of being rated all the time by everyone. So let's see. Number 1, the risk of receiving a low rating. It's an obvious thing that when you teach demos, you are at a much lower risk of receiving a bad rating from the agent. As long as you go into the session on time, you don't do any mistakes, you fill the report immediately after your demo, you're probably not going to receive a low rating. So we're going to give demo for this one a 9 out of 10. Yay, demo! As for the OUPs, since you're mainly teaching children, there is an ugly side to that, which is they sometimes can be full of surprises and full of other stuff. And in that case, they can give you a low rating that can be unexpected, unwarranted, unfair, or fair, but when you teach OUPs, there is a higher chance of receiving a low rating. And in that case, we put 6 out of 10. Sorry, OUP, is the truth. Now, let's go to number 2, payment and money. Now in here, this is kind of a tricky one because it's different for everyone. And if you are an incredibly good demo teacher, then you definitely make more money. But I'm doing this comparison from my own experience and for most people who are like normal, not crazy good at either. So in that case, demos, it's not looking very good for demos because we have to get a sign up to start making good money, and we don't just have to get one sign up, you have to get many sign ups. So we're gonna give demos a 6 out of 10. Sorry demos, because it's not easy. You have to have a good agent, you have to have a serious client, and you have to do a great job in the classroom to get a sign up. And also a little bit of luck. So yeah, not so great. As for OUPs, they're also not so great either because in order to make a decent amount of money, first you have to teach about 100 sessions per month and you have to maintain an average rate of 9.86, which ain't easy. You know, you have to get a lot of things going on here and a lot of students to rate you. If you receive consistently 9 or 8, then that's not good for you. It keeps pushing you away. It's not easy. It's crazy hard to maintain your 9.86 as an OUP teacher. So we're gonna give OUPs 7 out of 10. Not the best, but also not terrible. Now let's go to the third point, which is the mental stress that you experience when you're teaching these sessions. For me, to be honest, and I hope for most of you, demos can be very relaxing because you know the drill. You've been doing it for a month now, for a year, it doesn't matter. You know the drill, you know what to do. It's all the same materials, the same stuff that you have to do. It's not very bad. And as long as you're not thinking about sign-ups and I won't make more money, then you have nothing to worry about. No low ratings, no annoying student, and even if he was, it's only 15 minutes. Until you start teaching the 25 ones, but we'll talk about that one later. So we're gonna give demos here an 8 out of 10 for stress, mental stress, because it's not too bad. You should relax, enjoy the place, enjoy the time. Things are cool. However, for OUPs, if you're stuck with a student who's hard to teach, or who is annoying you, or who just doesn't want to shut up, or whatever, you are under a lot of stress. If you have a problem, if you have a student who doesn't like you, who always gives you a bad rating, so you are kind of under a lot of mental stress at here. So we're gonna give OUP here a 6 out of 10. Yeah, it's not great. Now let's go to the next one, which is the physical stress, or actually being tired physically. And in here, again, demo is a winner because every 2 hours you're allowed to ask for a break. And this is assuming you're working so hard and all the demos are booked. If not, then you can not work at all actually in some hours because it's not very busy and you just sit around, get paid for doing nothing. I don't know how that's possible, but it happens many times to many people. As for OUPs, they are not going to be very friendly when it comes to that because you have to work many sessions back to back, and the 5-minute break that you have to fill the report in this break, and there is no break without losing money because you have to cancel a session to have a break, and that means losing money. So we're gonna give OUPs here 5 out of 10 and demos 8 out of 10. Not so bad. Now let's talk about the roof of how much money you're making or you can make. I'm not talking about the money you make now, I'm talking about how much you can possibly make. We talked about demos before and we said it's very simple. The more signups you make or you get, the more money you make. And this is if you are on this bonus contract. If you are on the fixed rate contract, I have no idea. I have no information on this, I'm sorry. But most of us here are on a bonus contract, and the better you get at demos, the more comfortable you will be, the more signups you will get. Maybe you will be a super demo consultant and even get better and better, have better customers, better clients, and better agents. You'll make even more money. And we calculated it can be up to 13 your base rate in 1 hour. And this is if you sold 3 demos in the same hour like the other video we talked about. But for OUPs, it ain't great because you make what you make. And this is assuming that you maintain a good average rating. So with OUPs, you do what you do and it's always the same. A little bit more, a little bit less, but it's always the same. It's more guaranteed though. But we're not talking here about guaranteed, we're talking about the roof. How much could you possibly make? And in that case, demo is a clear winner with 9.5 out of 10, and OUPs are only 5 out of 10 because there is nothing. You make what you make, there is no more, and that's it. As for the last one, absences and appeals. In that case, for the first time actually, I see demos not doing very well in that category because demos are dangerous. You have to be extra careful. You could be assigned a demo without even knowing, and you can be absent without even knowing, so you have to always keep your eyes open. And you cannot appeal this absence. Like if you have a problem, if you don't check in, if you don't see the session that you're supposed to get in and just you don't, you're screwed. That's it. So in that case, be careful. If you have a problem, you could try talking to DT schedulers, but without a proof, they will not just remove it for you like that. So we're gonna give demo for absence and appeals about 6 out of 10. Not so great. However, for OUPs, or all other regular sessions for that matter, you get 9 out of 10 because you have a very fair absence and appeal system, in my opinion. You have a lot of free passes, and you have an appeal system if you have a technical problem, and it's just fair. Now let's tally up the numbers and see who is the winner. And the winner is... Wow. How long was I drum rolling? The winner is Demos! Yay, Demos! Demos got 46.5 points, and OUPs only got 38 points. Of course, I have to admit that in these ratings I was a little bit biased, or I was a little bit leaning towards what I feel. However, your personal preference might be different. In the end, if you like demos, you like demos. If you don't like them, all that stuff is not going to mean anything to you. So the same thing goes to OUP. If you like more to teach than to sell, then definitely you're going to prefer OUPs with all their problems and all their trouble. It will still be a better option for you. This is why I've said before, I find a healthy combination of both, or a healthy mix of both, is the best thing for me to not get sick of either of them. And this video, I'm just sharing with you my experience, my opinion, and it doesn't mean in any way that this is the absolute truth. Alright, everyone is entitled to their opinions, and I'm just hoping that this video can help someone make up their mind when they are deciding to diversify their sessions type, or they're still new teachers and they're deciding, should I take the demo training or the OUP training? What should I do? This might help one of you guys. And that's it. Now, before we go, I still want to talk about one last thing, which is how to maximize your earnings through bookings and cancellations. Let's just pull back here and look at my demo signups chart since I started teaching demos. I have been working consistently the same numbers of hours all through the last 2 years of teaching demos. So it is pretty clear that most of my signups came from summer and spring, and this is obvious for most of you. It's nothing new. In summer, a lot of people get stay at home, no school, and people start to buy these things to study at home. However, that might go over someone's head, and this is why I wanted to tell you guys, if you now are canceling demos because you have to do something or you're working, then you are canceling a demo with a much higher probability of getting a sign up than if you were canceling a demo, I don't know, in winter or something. So be careful about that. And here's another thing. 51% of all my signups since I started teaching demos 2 years ago were on Saturdays and Sundays. That means that I have gotten more than half of my signups just in 2 days every week for the last 2 years. So again, think about it before you cancel. If you cancel a demo on a weekend, that means you're probably canceling a pretty high turnover demo, and maybe there will be a higher chance for you to get a sign up from this demo, so probably you shouldn't cancel that. If you have to cancel, here is what I can tell you. If there's something bad or you need to cancel, I would go for the OUP if you can teach both or you have both on your schedule. Because OUPs, in my opinion, on the weekend are actually worse, because you teach OUP 1-on-2 most of the time, and that means you work twice as hard for the same money. Demos are more work on the weekend, but there's a higher chance of you getting a sign up. OUPs are more work on the weekend and you make the same money. That's my point. Now, here is another point that I also want to make to you. If you are the kind of person who is teaching OUPs, and after you started to take the demo training and you started teaching demos, they've been giving nothing but demos to you. I know this feeling, it sucks. Sometimes you feel sick of it, you feel like you want to change. Here is what you need to do. Let's look at one of my Thursdays. Thursday is usually my day off. Maybe I work for an hour or an hour and a half in the morning, like you see here, and then the rest of the day is free. But here's another Thursday where I decided to work and actually booked sessions by hand the night before. You see what happened? No demos, all OUPs. If we look here, we will notice that the sessions that I booked by hand the night before are OUPs. However, my MPT sessions that are scheduled a week in the future, a week ahead, they're all demos. So that tells us a little bit about how the system works. Okay, we cannot choose the type of session that we teach, we have to just work with what they give us. However, we can see how it works and take advantage of these things. If you book a session at night for the next morning and you are eligible to teach OUPs and LVPs, then probably you're going to wake up in the morning to find OUPs, not LVPs. Now, this is how it worked for me For you, it might be a little different. Now, here's 2 points I just want to make clear before we end this topic, which is if you are a teacher who is struggling to get sessions and barely gets anything, I do not recommend that you book sessions just the night before. You should have a fixed hour schedule. You should teach what they give you, because you will have a hard time getting a session scheduled if it was not an MPT session. All right, this is for the teachers who have been here for a long time and the system keeps preferring them and giving them sessions anyway. Now, as for the second point, if the demand for demos is really high on these days, even though you book the session by hand at night, the next morning you're going to wake up again to find demos, because systems work based on supply and demand. If they still need more demo teachers, they will take you again to teach demos. However, in most situations, book a session at night, you will wake up in the morning to find it regular or OUPs. Book a session a week in advance and probably the system is going to assign it to you as a demo. And that's it! Thank you so much, guys, for watching. That was comparison between OUPs and demos. I hope you liked the video and enjoyed it and it helped you decide or learn something new. All I wanted to say is thank you so much for all my subscribers, for all the people who leave comments. It really encourages me to continue, and I really love talking to you, and I really love making these videos, and I hope I will see you next time. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Peace. Thank you so much.